Hi, welcome to week 2, Adult Home Education, GED Review for Grammar and English Review. Punctuation, what's it for? Punctuation is just to help us or help you read something the way the writer wants you to read it. They are directions on how to read something. Just like a stop sign tells you to stop, a period says, hey, this is the end of the sentence. When the sentence ends, we take a longer breath. Here are some examples of punctuation marks. The explanations are very basic. We will go into more detail throughout the semester in our reading and writing. Punctuation. Exclamation point means excited, yelling, saying it loud, expressing a strong feeling. I won! Question mark. You're asking a direct question. What did you say? Period shows that the sentence has ended. You will almost always need a complete sentence before a period. Now, the www.happy.com, you could say it's a period, but now we kind of say it's a dot. But it's not shown to use a complete sentence. He's happy to be back in school. Okay, comma means a pause in the sentence. Time to take a little breath. Also, to separate items in a list. To separate an introduction, to separate a different thought within a sentence, between two complete thoughts in a sentence using and, but, for, or, not, so, or yet, to separate a direct quote in a sentence, and for everyday stuff like dates, addresses, and like the opening and closing of letters. Apostrophe shows ownership of something and is placed where a letter is missing. That was my mother's house. How many mothers do you have? No apostrophe in mothers because it doesn't show ownership. It shows more than one. So, for example, that doesn't really make a lot of sense, but that was my mother's house means my mother owned the house. If I didn't have an apostrophe, it'd mean that I'd have more than one mother. So you're great. Your is called a contraction. It means you are. The apostrophe takes the place of the A. So instead of saying you are great, and spelling it out, you're saying you're great. You're taking out the A and putting in the apostrophe. Quotation marks. To show exact words of a speaker. Exact words from someone else's writing or special words. Words that you want the reader to pay attention to. And we'll also talk about plagiarism and how important quotation marks are when we're talking about plagiarism in your writing, and we'll get into that, I think, in week 6. She told me, yes, I would love to join you for lunch. Colon, to introduce a list, introduce an explanation, and sometimes a long quotation. My wife likes to do 3 things: gardening, vacation, and laundry. I get to do the rest. Semicolon. This is more of a pause than a comma, but less than a period, and can join 2 complete thoughts. The dog show winners were Kanza Jones, she came in first, Harry Seldon, 2nd place winner, Tanita Williams, in 3rd place, and I came in last. Parentheses, to separate information from the rest of a sentence. I tried reading that book, War and Peace, but it was too long. So you're kind of saying the War and Peace under your breath kind of thing when you're reading it. We're going to go to next, but that will be a separate video because we don't want these to get too big and too long for you, and you can do them one at a time. So thank you for joining us today, adulthomeeducation.com. Give us a call if you want to take a live class, and remember all the special discussions and the writing are all in live classes. We do not have recordings for that. And we also talk about grammar in live classes as well. And don't forget to join our study halls, our live study halls. Teachers just waiting there to answer a question or help figure it out. See you in a minute.